What are you? Stop!
In just a few moments.
What are you? Stop!
Oh my God, I swear to God, this thing just looked at me.
If you guys can keep seeing this behind me when I'm doing this.
Buenas noches. Give me the way. Está dentro. Está dentro.
चेहरा कहाँ गया आपका?
जो
क्यों आपका चेहरे को?
आपका चेहरा
दिखाओ।
चेहरा ही नहीं है यार.
Bueno, pues ya nos quedamos un rato aquí esperando y ya se empieza a escuchar.
Hi, I'm James Leffer and you're watching the Impossible Channel. Welcome aboard. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on for more videos like this. Today we're going to be taking a look at a scary compilation that I put together for you guys for Halloween. You got the creepiest and most unexplained videos that may actually prove the existence of a spirit world. Are you guys ready? Well, let's go. About a month ago, an internet account by the name of Historias found out through the internet that several people had observed a mysterious phenomenon on a railroad in Santa Rosa in Nuevo León.
Y pues estuve viendo varios videos que precisamente a las 10 de la noche faltan como 5.
Now, Nuevo León is a state in Mexico with a population of about 6 million people. It's known for its beautiful landscapes and extreme weather, but also known for its mysterious tales of La Llorona or the Weeping Woman, mermaids, enchanted mines, and the list goes on. So when Historias found out that this mysterious phenomenon was ongoing in Santa Rosa, she drove there to find out more about it, and this is what she caught on camera. Check this out.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Nos encontramos en las vías del tren de la carretera. Aquí camino a Santa Rosa, casi cruz con López Mateos. Y pues estuve viendo varios videos que precisamente a las 10 de la noche, faltan como 5 minutos. Hay muchos videos en YouTube, los pueden buscar. Aquí empiezan a grabar y se empieza a escuchar el tren, pero no pasa. O sea, como si fuera un tren fantasma.
She goes about explaining how there are several videos on YouTube about this mysterious ghost train that supposedly passes by Santa Rosa at around 10 o'clock at night. She also explains how it's 10 p.m. and that she expects to see some sort of ghost train. However, she was not expecting what was about to happen. And this is what she captured on camera.
Vamos a esperarnos un rato. Bueno, pues ya nos quedamos un rato aquí esperando y efectivamente se empieza a escuchar como si viniera de acá, de lo lejos, y no se ve nada, o sea, no hay nada, no viene nada y se escucha. Creí que era mentira, a ver, voy a hacer algo, yo creo que no hay nada, no hay nada.
Did you hear that? What actually sounds like a ghost train can be clearly heard in the video, and she captured it all on camera. Creepy, isn't it? But it gets creepier. If you actually pay attention in the video, you'll see that at a certain moment there, it's as if the ghost train's wind current is actually affecting her hair. I mean, what's going on here? Not only that, when the ghost train first starts passing by, she starts screaming out loud so she can be heard in the video, which suggests that this isn't video editing or some sort of clever prank. It could be the real deal. And this is at least what a lot of people out there in Santa Rosa thought, so they started going there and checking it for themselves without much success, which led a lot of people to think that this was just a hoax or something like that. But who knows, this might actually be the real deal. But if so, what could be causing this mysterious phenomenon? maybe an industry nearby, causing some sort of illusion, or maybe paranormal related, or maybe even. What's your take? What do you think is really going on here? Now, when it comes to the fashion world, one could say that there's not much mystery surrounding it. But within the luxurious stores, the glitz and glamour of the runway, and behind the scenes of the high-end boutiques, there's one mystery that's been leaving a lot of people creeped out. In the last couple of years, a certain fashion brand got itself involved in one of the strangest internet mysteries. A mystery that involves missing people, paranormal activity, and much more.
He really was focused on me too. All right, you guys, we're gonna go here now. If you look at this, not a doll, mannequin, she is looking down. She's definitely looking down. In the pictures that we took, she's looking right at me.
And I'm about to show you guys some of the videos that may actually prove all of this. But before that, let me explain how it all started. On March 2020, Christopher G., one of Balenciaga's models, supposedly went missing. He was attending a party at a friend's house in the Hollywood Hills area of Los Angeles, California, when his car was found abandoned in a residential area in the same place with his phone and other personal belongings still inside. According to FresherLive.com, LAPD and the entire neighborhood launched a search to find Christopher G. without any success. Now fast forward to November 2022, Balenciaga got itself involved in a very big controversy, a controversy that ended up in a $25 million lawsuit and much more. At the time, a marketing company that Balenciaga hired came up with a very bad idea. An idea that caught the attention of millions of people all over the world, but not the good kind of attention. This, for instance, is one of the videos that got Balenciaga into this mess. Take a look.
What's in your bag?
In my bag, like stuff or maybe.
I'll hold it for you and you can take the things out. Excuse me.
Yeah. Look, there's like when she starts to cry, like then when she gonna pee, I don't know. Then when she's boring,
Now I'm pretty certain that you can imagine why this wasn't exactly the best of ideas when it comes to marketing campaigns. It didn't take long before Balenciaga became the focus of several controversies and crazy ideas and theories.
It's a massive scandal. One of the big questions has been why celebrities line with
Internet users started to speculate what was exactly the message that Balenciaga was trying to send with this very creepy and bizarre campaign. Strange, isn't it? But it gets even stranger when on April 2023, a woman noticed something really bizarre about a mannequin in one of Balenciaga's stores in Paris.
Okay people, tell me something. So this is a store in Paris. This is a man's store in Paris. And this is a mannequin that they say that they made and put this in the store. This boy look like somebody bomb. Look at his hand. Wait, I'm doing it through the hole. Look at the boy hands. Look, the hands. His hands is as real as
When I first watched this video, I was impressed by the realistic mannequin that she had found in a Balenciaga store. It's way too realistic, and it does have a very creepy vibe to it, but still, it could be a wax statue or something like that. But this is where things take a really strange turn. Not only does the mannequin look exactly like Christopher G., the missing model and designer for Balenciaga, the mannequin also appears to turn its head and look straight at the woman in a certain moment in the video. Watch closely.
This is freaking serious, I swear. If anybody have this guy missing, if anybody have this guy missing, please This is crazy. I've never seen anybody look so friggin' real. How you have this man in the store sit down? Look. Look at that. You see? This is friggin' crazy. Look at the guy eye. And them said they made this mannequin and put clothes on him and have him sit down in the window. Look at the guy friggin' face. This look like the friggin' guy who was in the
Did you see that? In a certain moment in the video, the mannequin appears to turn its head and look straight back at the woman. Is this a camera illusion, paranormal activity, or maybe something else? After being posted, the video amassed millions of views and thousands of comments, and a lot of people all over the world were leaving comments and very much convinced that this was actually Christopher G, the missing model and designer for Balenciaga. And, well, it actually does look like Christopher G. The only thing is, I did a quick research and Christopher G apparently did a live video on his Instagram recently, explaining that he was alive and well, but the thing is, most internet users weren't much convinced. One internet user stated, "That's an old pre-recorded live, not a new one. And if the mannequin is a wax statue, why does his jawline look kind of strange?" Many others agreed that he still has the same hairstyle since 2020, the year that Christopher G went missing. One internet user made an excellent point. If that's him, why didn't he explain the process in doing a lookalike mannequin and make more videos other than the live stream? And finally, one internet user added, "To me, he doesn't look like the same in the live stream. Something is off." Now, I'm not exactly sure if this is the case. It could just be a very well done wax statue, taking into consideration that there are many more lookalike mannequins in various different Balenciaga stores. But then again, is this possibly just another creepy and elaborate marketing campaign from Balenciaga, or is there something else going on here, something far more sinister? What's your take? Now, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I remember first watching Ghostbusters. It was incredible. It was funny and scary at the same time. I immediately became a fan. As time went by, I slowly became more interested in paranormal events, stories, and things of sort.
Where are you waving at, Lev?
And nowadays, I can't help but notice how there is a rise in creepy videos and strange encounters that people supposedly have with what's supposed to be a hidden and spiritual world. And this is sort of what happened with Leah Azevedo, 22, a couple of weeks ago. Leah was having a good moment with her family at her home on a rainy day, when all of a sudden things take a creepy turn and she captures it all on camera. This is what happened. Check this out.
Sky! Cadê? Meu Deus! Meu Deus, o que é isso? Parece o povo. Mãe? Mãe? Ai, meu Deus! Mãe! Tu não tava aqui ainda agora? Tu tava assim! Eu te vi aqui no tapete!
In the video, we can see Leah calling for her dog and what looks like her mom showing up on the bad side. This is until she realizes that that's not her mother, that's something else entirely. After being posted, internet users were completely baffled and divided. Some thought that she had some space under her bed to fake the video, so she posted a part 2 to show that there was no space under her bed.
A cama é box. Não cabe nada aqui, olha. Só tem o fio.
And even though I'm not too sure if the video is faked or not, it has to be one of the creepiest videos that I've seen so far. But it doesn't stop there. A couple of months ago, an internet account by the name of WinMCPix went from posting vlog-type videos to really creepy events that started occurring inside his home.
I keep hearing sounds in my bathroom. I don't know what it is. I haven't whistled, I haven't messed with this thing.
In one of his videos, he explains that he noticed a change in his home after he started whistling from time to time. In this video, we can see objects moving and things of sort.
Picking them up.
But in a next video of his, things change. It's not just objects moving. Apparently there's something in his home. Check this out.
Sounds in my bathroom. I don't know what it is. I haven't whistled, I haven't messed with this thing. Holy crap. No freaking way. Did you see that?
Yes.
Did you see that? Okay, you'll see I'm cutting, so I'm gonna go nice and slow here. Right there. There's no way somebody slipped out right there. My back's against the wall. There's nothing in the closet. No feet, no nothing. Holy crap.
Did you see that? Right in the beginning of the video, we can see what looks like a shadow figure crossing from the bathroom towards the closet door. When MC Pix gets up as fast as possible to check it out, but finds absolutely nothing there. A bit freaked out, he goes back to bed in hopes that these things will eventually stop. But they don't. And one day while working at his living room, this happens.
Yes? Hello? What is that? Who are you?
Once again, when MC Pix is able to capture this shadow figure on camera, and up until now I had my doubts about these videos, but this is until his dog started reacting to these supposed ghosts and things take a creepy turn. This is what happens next.
Yeah. Go lie down. It's okay. Lie down. Stay. I've been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey buddy, I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh shit. Okay. I'm just gonna set it up, paper towels, and we'll just let the phone roll. I asked you if you gotta go or you gotta go downstairs or something. Wherever you're gonna go, you gotta go. Little buddy.
In this video, he's able to capture this thing a bit better. And whatever it is, his dog doesn't seem pleased by it. And even though the entire situation is already very creepy, it gets even creepier. And in the following days, when MC Pix captures something chilling on camera.
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on. I don't even know how to explain what I'm seeing.
Whatever this ghostly entity is, it shapeshifts itself into a human form in this particular video. And both when MC Pix and his dog are left completely creeped out about it. At this point, most internet users agree that this is no ghost, that this is most likely a poltergeist or a demon. And it is believed in certain cultures that a demon can shapeshift into a human form, which apparently is the case. Now, this could all be very clever video editing, but I would like to understand how his dog seems to be legit reacting to it. And I also want to know your thoughts. What do you really think is going on here? Have you ever seen anything like this? And in your opinion, is this the real deal? When I was younger, my grandparents used to tell me really strange stories of a boogeyman of sort that lived in my neighborhood, and I always thought that they were kind of making it up just to make sure that I would be an obedient kid. I know that most folk stories and fairy tales were actually made up just to make sure that kids obey and stuff like that. But the truth is, there is little to no information where the boogeyman story actually originated. It is thought to be derived from the word bog, which means hobgoblin in Middle English, and the legend surrounding it may have originated in Scotland, although it's not totally clear. There are reported references made to the boogeyman monster as early as the 1500s, but even though we know very little about its origins, one thing is for sure: the boogeyman loves to lurk in the shadows of the night and scare the heck out of disobedient people.
Oh my god. Nope. Nope.
And even though to this day I do not believe in the boogeyman monster, I can't find an easy explanation for this next video that we're about to watch. The video begins with two girls coming back home late at night, when all of a sudden they encounter a person acting really strange. They decide to record it all with their phone cameras so they kind of feel safer, and this is what they caught on camera.
También, es la primera vez que yo nací. La verdad, casi no salgo ni nada, pero ya sé. Me encantó. Yo debería salir 1000 veces. Aquí, las que nunca salen a fiestas, No, sí, pero sí estuve chido, güey. No, a mí sí me gustó, la verdad. ¿Pero los conocías? No, güey. ¿Tú? No, yo sé. Espérate, güey. ¿Qué pedo, güey? ¿Qué pedo con ese vato? ¿Qué pedo? Buenas noches. ¿Qué pedo, güey? Ay, caminale rápido, güey. A la verga. ¿Qué pedo, güey? Güey, y no pasa nada de carros. Güey, eso nos pasa por andar en fiestas, güey. No mames, yo sé. A la verga. ¿Qué pedo?
After coming across what appears to be a strange person on the street, the two girls are now arriving home when they actually spot what appears to be the same figure, but this time it starts walking in their direction. Completely scared, they run inside as fast as possible and start locking all the doors before this thing, whatever it is, comes in. And even though they lock all the doors as fast as possible, this thing appears to be absolutely everywhere.
Está dentro. Está dentro, güey. No, güey, métete al cuarto, güey. Métete al cuarto, güey. Métete al cuarto.
The two girls start to realize that whatever it is that they're dealing with isn't a person after all. It's actually more of a ghostly figure maybe, or a boogeyman. But there's absolutely no explanation to what's about to happen, and they caught it all on camera, and this is what happens next.
Está fuera, güey. Está fuera. Güey, está fuera. Escúchanos, mira la casa, por favor, ayúdanos, güey. Alguien aquí adentro de la casa, güey. Por favor, rápido, güey.
While locked inside the bathroom, they hear furniture moving and things of sort. They call a friend that quickly hurries up to their home, and this is what they captured on camera.
¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? Voy a llamar a la policía. ¿Quién es? Espérate, espérate, güey. Güey, sí es mi se me echó pato a la casa, güey.
When a couple of friends arrive, they come out and they notice loads of furniture knocked.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Yun ang pinakamalalim? Hindi. Walang isa pa?
Hail is like baseballs here.
I'm gonna go out there and look.
Hi, I'm James LaFleur and you're watching the Impossible channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some scary moments caught on tape. Thing is, there are many reasons for us to become scared at a certain situation. And sometimes, it's just a response from our body saying, get the heck out of there. And well, you're probably in for a ride because today we're going to be taking a look at some of these situations. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel with notifications, and let's go. If there's something that can go really wrong, it's urban exploration. It's the exploration of man-made structures, usually abandoned ruins or hidden components of the man-made environment. Sometimes it involves trespassing onto private property, and this is when it can become something quite scary and out of our control.
Someone's here. Let's get up here. Get out. Let's get out. Shh. Let's walk it. Alright, so there's someone in here right now.
It's sort of what happened with This Is Dan Bell YouTube channel, who decided to explore an abandoned asylum alone. Now there are many things that makes this video one of the scariest urban explorations I've ever seen. And at first, it's the fact that Dan Bell notices that there's a noise coming from upstairs, a noise that seems to be coming from a person. Dan is already feeling as if there's something there following him, and this is when he captures, without noticing, a dark shadow behind one of the doors just before he goes upstairs. At this point, I thought to myself that maybe a human being was living there, following him. This is when strange things started to occur one after the other.
Battery exploded.
For some mysterious reason, his camera's battery just exploded. Dan Bell YouTube channel decides to go upstairs. When he reaches the upper level, it seems like there's something watching him through the door handle. Now again, I thought it was a human being that was maybe living there observing him when this happened. He feels as if there's something watching him, and he captures what appears to be a strange creature with two glowing eyes lurking in the darkness. He then goes into the room to find nothing there. So whatever is going on in this abandoned asylum, I'm not too sure if this is some sort of human being living there or something else. Would you be brave enough to explore an abandoned asylum, and what would you do if you were in Dan's place? There's nothing scarier, in my opinion, than being in a place where an earthquake is happening. There are lots of things that can happen while an earthquake is taking place, and one of them is a ground fissure. A ground fissure, or earth fissure, is a narrow linear opening in the Earth's surface. It may be caused by an earthquake, volcano, or a mass wasting.
Made it.
There are two things that can happen when a ground fissure is opening. One of them is a very scary sound coming from the ground, which was what Tim O'Hara captured just next to Kilauea a couple of years ago. The scary noise that you are hearing and the smoke are coming from the ground fissure itself, which makes this all very much unique. However, there is a second thing that can happen when a fissure is opening, and that is a light that emits into the sky.
Ne biçim bir renk? Öbür tarafa da git. Sarıyla mor.
Gerçekten ya bu ne ya?
In a recent event captured in the Netherlands, we can see several lights in the sky without much explanation. This could be due to earthquakes or fissures opening in the ground, however it's very difficult to affirm 100% if this is the case. If there's one scary situation, I would say is hailstorms.
Dicen que hay algunas piedritas que engañan.
Hail is a form of solid precipitation. It is distinct from ice pellets. Now there's one specific situation where we should be scared of hailstorms, and that's golf ball-sized hailstones. The rapid rising motion from an updraft forces water molecules and water vapor to get sucked up to heights where the temperature is freezing, turning water into ice. It takes an exceptionally strong updraft to get a hailstone to the size of a golf ball, and this is what happened in Australia. In this video, check this out.
Hail is like baseballs here. It is ruining our house. We've got holes in the roof everywhere. They are the size of baseballs. Holy.
Now, it's not just in Australia that things like this can happen. In Libya, something similar was captured on camera last week. Now, on one side, we have hail, water, ice. On the other, we have fire. And it was in a fire station that a truly bizarre and scary moment was captured on camera by one of the firemen present at the station. This is what was captured on camera.
Jesus Christ. Everything's going all haywire. We got alarms going off. Ryan's out on patrol. Look, there's a poltergeist or some in here. Oh! That!
By the person's reaction, this could be a real situation, but to this day, no one actually knows if this is fake or real. Leave a comment. What do you think is really going on here? I don't know about you, but walking through the woods at night is something I actually enjoy doing. Of course, if there's no danger in sight. However, it's not what happened in this situation where a couple of people were enjoying their moment when all of a sudden a strange sound was heard.
What are you hearing through the...
Big Toe Time YouTube channel captured this bizarre event on July 8, 2012, near Clipper Mills, California, while he was camping. At first, the growling noise appears to be coming from some sort of dog. However, fast forward the video to 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and it appears to be coming from some sort of unknown creature. Some even suggested maybe a Bigfoot.
That is not a human.
What the is that?
Notice how these dogs are very curious about the sound, and after watching this over and over, I have a feeling that this is some sort of huge creature screaming. And if I were to be in this situation, I would probably have my dogs with me, and I'm not too sure if I would have any sleep that night. Now, talk about not having any sleep. In Belgrade, Serbia, a couple of people recorded from different places and neighborhoods a bizarre sound that appears to be coming from the sky. Now I can't imagine being asleep and waking up to this, and I think my curiosity would spike. However, in this case, it could be coming from an industry. If you do have any idea, don't be shy, leave a comment.
Bueno, en casi todos los videos me decían que yo buscara ayuda.
Have you ever had that feeling that there was something there with you in your room, invisible maybe, watching you, but then you looked to your side, there was nothing there? This is sort of what happened with El Franco Andres, TikTok user, who has been uploading a couple of intriguing videos.
Si estás acá, prende la luz. ¿Qué? Si estás aquí en el baño, enciende de nuevo el agua.
El Franco Andres believes that there's something invisible inhabiting his house, in this case a ghost or some sort of paranormal activity that happens mainly in the bathroom. At first I thought his videos were fake until this happened.
Me paré, prendí la luz y no había. Pero parece que no hay en toda la casa porque fue también acá y pareciera como que está quemada.
Now, if there's one thing that is as scary as it can get, is the presence of something inside your home that you don't see. And it is the case with El Franco Andres because he did not see the dark, shadowy figure hiding behind the curtain inside his bathroom. It was actually through the comment section in his TikTok video that there was a dark, shadowy figure that they spotted just behind the curtains. Seconds later, Andres checks out the bathtub only to find out that there is absolutely nothing or no one inside. But this is not all. Then, this happens. Whatever presence El Franco Andres is feeling, it seems that he's very bothered by it. In his next videos, he asks for his followers for help on how to resolve such situations.
Ser mexicano es saber que la salsa no es un acompañante, es el centro de todo. No tienes que ir tan lejos para viajar. México es Cerdes.
It is said that ghosts or spirits can inhabit your house if you somehow invite them or if there's some sort of eerie history behind the place.
Okay, guys. I'm really not sure what's going on here. Nope. Yeah, I'm done.
It is also said that ghosts or spirits can inhabit dolls and things that you have inside your home, and it's sort of what happened with Mario Lara on his Facebook page, where he started to upload bizarre and strange occurrences inside of his store. It all happened in Colombia in a piñata store. Mario Lara never had uploaded any paranormal activity in his Facebook until now.
Pues les decía que, les decía que las cámaras avisan, pues, mandan un mensaje a mi celular, una alerta cuando hay movimiento de...
He goes on to explain that his security cameras started picking up movement at his store during the night, something that didn't used to happen before. However, it was after the appearance of a strange piñata that he does not recognize that his video started to go viral.
Y al día siguiente, pues estaba la piñata.
He also goes on to explain that everything started happening after he noticed that this particular piñata was moving by itself.
Esa piñata que tenemos ahí es la que sospechosa, la verdad es que no sabemos.
Freaked out by this specific piñata, Mario Lara called on a priest to give him advice, and after that he started leaving the doll inside of a bathroom next to a candle. However, every time he returned to the bathroom, the doll was in a different position.
Hijo de su puta madre. Es lo que les digo. Ay, mi corazón.
He then decided to leave the doll in a separate part of the store with 2 lit candles, and this is when things started to go really wrong. One night, after picking up movement inside of the store, Mario Lara decided to go and check out for himself. So he decided to record another live video on Facebook, and this is what happened. For some reason the lights wouldn't go on, and this is when I believe Mario Lara first felt scared inside his store.
Ya no está la... Quitamos la veladora por cuestiones de seguridad. Nadie me quiso acompañar.
In this moment, Mario was probably thinking for himself, why hasn't the piñata moved? This is when he looks up and notices something looking back at him. He never returned that night. Actually, Mario on the next day posted on his Facebook that he would be taking a long vacation from his store. Whatever was looking back at him at the store really scared him off. By his reactions, I would say that this is probably legit. What was it that Mario encountered on his store that night? Some say in the comments that it was the same creature that was lurking in one of his security cameras. However, because of the camera quality and being that it was very dark, it's very difficult to assure. What would you do if you were in his place, and have you ever been in a similar situation? This is it for now, but we do have more videos. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this one, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. I do have a new channel, link is under the description, and I'll see you guys again.
Llevamos con Rafa 20 años en los que hemos vivido grandes momentos. Ahora ha llegado el tuyo. Aprovecha que vuelven los 10 días Kia del 7 al 18 de noviembre para conducir tu Kia favorito desde solo 14.400 euros. Consulta condiciones en kia.com.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Si entras al bar diciendo...
Vaya mañanita.
Estás encolacao de ver las cosas de otra manera.
¡Vaya!
اخواني واحد راح ايش وراي بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Oh my God, that's the stuff that's on YouTube and stuff. Do you see this thing? What the hell is that?
Hi, I'm James LaFleur and you're watching the Impossible channel. Welcome aboard. Halloween is a scary and creepy time, and this is why today we're going to be analyzing some creepy and scary videos together. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and well, let's go. I don't know about you, but many people enjoy Halloween season, and one of the most common costumes during Halloween are witch costumes.
Face has completely changed, doesn't even look like a person.
Witches have been around for quite some time historically. No one knows exactly when it started, but it was around 971 BC. From the early days till now, witches have been portrayed as evil. It is only on pop culture that all of a sudden witches became something cool. But right now we're going to be taking a look at some videos that theoretically caught a witch on camera. A video that was shared on social media by Victor H. Gutierrez in Mexico shows a fire on the ground which then launches into the air while the family that is recording the video can be heard in the background. It was recorded in the city of Monterrey in the northeastern Mexican state of Nuevo Leon, which is a place apparently full of witch sightings. However, Mexico is not the only place haunted by witches. In Saudi Arabia, both YouTubers Asmar Bar and Ahmad Salih decide to investigate an abandoned warehouse. The abandoned warehouse is said to be haunted by a witch or a female jinn, and both YouTubers went together to live stream the event. Now, what is very important to say here is that they were live streaming, so in other words, it's very difficult to make this a hoax or to fake this, because if anything would have gone wrong, then they would be completely debunked, which wasn't what happened. Their video went viral and it's very obvious to me why. Now this is what happened. It all starts when Asmar Bar spots a tall shadowy figure in the end of the hallway. He realizes that this may be the jinn they're looking for, so he runs after it and he enters one of the rooms. While Asmar Bar is inside one of the rooms looking for this tall figure, Ahmad Salih spots the same figure in the opposite side of the hallway where Asmar Bar was at a couple of seconds ago. Ahmad Salih, now confused, thinks his friend was playing a prank on him and then starts to question him, now in a very angry and upset tone. 15 minutes later, with both their live feeds running, they encounter the witch once again, but this time it was a bit different. Now again, this is very important to point out. Both YouTubers had their live streams running, and by now they were pretty sure that there was something there watching them all along. And I guess that what happens next is by far one of the creepiest things I've ever seen during a ghost hunt on a live stream. Asmar Bar feels a presence in the room. He points the camera at him to see if there's anything lurking or anything out of the ordinary when he captures this featureless figure just lurking behind him. What would you have done in his place, and have you ever encountered such a thing?
Guys, I'm taking this live on the Temako Sombo Road. Wow! Unbelievable stuff, man. I can't explain this.
If there's something out there that can be as scary as paranormal phenomena, sometimes even more, it's natural phenomena.
Look at that!
And there's one phenomena that, to me at least, sounds scary, and those are the skyquakes that have been happening all over.
Do you hear that? You see it? Look at this light. It's crazy.
In Sweden, for instance, there was a video that was published in 2017 of such an event. This is what was caught on camera. The person taping this video is somehow trying to find the origin of the sound, and at moments points the camera towards the sky, without any success. But it's not just in Sweden that such sounds were recorded. In Canada, something similar was also caught on camera. There are many theories pertaining the origin of these sounds, but to this day there hasn't been exactly a good answer for what's going on here. If you've ever heard something similar, please do leave your opinion. Now, talking about the sky, there is one phenomena that has been baffling people all over, and that's the appearance of strange lights in the sky, such as this video that went viral a couple of years ago of a bizarre light that travels amongst the clouds. Now, some people say that the origin of this video is Texas, and others say it's Brazil, so this video is a bit sketchy. I would say that maybe it's CGI, in other words, it could be fake. However, there was a video this week that went viral coming from Guatemala, and this is what was caught on camera. A person captures what appears to be a light in the sky, literally. Now, some people in the comment section are saying that this is some sort of flying humanoid or a light being. However, it is very difficult for us to affirm 100% what exactly is going on here. The object seems to be completely stationary, and at other moments it seems to move very quick. The impression that I get is that at certain moments the object morphs into something else and then makes a sudden move, and at some point it simply disappears.
Damn, so I have this crazy guy that just popped up in front of my car out of nowhere, and he's freaking me the out, bro. I called the cops. What the is this? What the is this guy doing?
During Halloween, it is common for people to find others dressed up as zombies, and in my opinion, zombies aren't real. However, the ancient Greeks may have been the first civilization terrorized by the fear of the undead. Archaeologists have unearthed many ancient graves which contain skeletons pinned down by rocks and other heavy objects, assumedly to prevent the dead bodies from reanimating. That being said, this next event was taped in Brooklyn, New York on June 2018. It was taped by Ali Ugur when he was driving around for Uber.
He won't let me through. Look, let's say I want to try to go through. Look at that. You see that? You see that? He's not letting me through. His eye is all f***ed up. Holy sh**. He looks like a I don't know what. This sh** has never happened to me in my life. This is so weird, bro. I'm just waiting for the cops to come.
What is most intriguing about this video is that Ali notices that his eyes, his face, doesn't look normal. The strange man keeps following Ali's car for no apparent reason, and at a certain moment Ali zooms in at his face and this is what he sees.
That stare right here, look at his eyes, yo. I'm not even with you, his eyes are crazy.
His eyes can be seen rolling from one side to another very quick. It is very difficult to say what's going on here other than a zombie maybe. Don't be shy, leave your opinion under the comment section below. What do you think is happening here?
I'm gonna go and
More and more people have been using applications such as Zoom or Skype, anything that they can chat on with their distant friends or relatives.
a day bed or something. I mean, I have that credit card. I'm not gonna buy anything expensive. I'll try like Salvation Army first.
And it was the case with Lori, or a doll that Lori has inside her home. However, in the second part of the video, you can watch the creature to the right in the background a little bit further than it was before, and if you watch closely, it seems like it's moving its arms. So whatever this is, it's definitely not a doll. It's too small to be a human being, and well, I'll leave it up to you.
Oh my.
Gnomes or fairies are mythological creatures that supposedly don't exist. Gnomes are represented in medieval mythologies as a small, physical, deformed creature resembling a dried, gnarled old man. Being that they do not exist, it is quite interesting that there are some videos out there who prove the contrary. Like this video where there are a couple of kids playing on the streets. I believe this was taped in Bolivia, and this is what they captured on tape. It's at night and the footage quality isn't that good, but we can see a shadowy figure that appears in the middle of the street. When the kids realize what's really going on, this figure starts walking to the right. They then run for their lives, screaming, and I believe the reaction is actually quite real. So I'm not too sure. What do you think? Have you ever seen anything like this before? When I was younger, I had more time in my hands and I used to listen to music a lot more than I do today. And I remember that most of my friends used to listen to a band called Nirvana, and I actually enjoyed one or two of their tunes. Now to me, Kurt Cobain's death has always been a mystery, until I watched a video where Dulce is interviewed in relation to Courtney Love, and this is the video.
Pop him in. I just didn't think she was serious. But did she tell you?
In this video, the interviewer asks Dulce about Courtney Love.
But she didn't say anything about making it look like a side.
And then by mistake, he mentions one of his friends' name who also seemed to be involved.
But I told Alan, my friend, who I'll let the FBI catch him.
And there are two things that make this video even creepier. The first is the end scene, where apparently a woman can be heard screaming, "Help me." And the second thing is that 2 days after this interview, Dulce was involved in a train wreck and was no more. Some people believe it was no coincidence. Some say that this is one of the creepiest videos that can be found online to this day. Now, natural phenomena can be creepy and scary too. It is the case with Johnson Sportside Facebook page, who published a couple of months ago a video of a phenomena called ice shove.
I know, it's pushing forward. Yeah. This is crazy.
An ice shove is a surge of ice from an ocean or large lake onto the shore. Ice shoves are caused by ocean currents, strong winds, or temperature differences, pushing ice onto the shore, creating piles up to 12 meters high. And it was what happened in Minnesota, where you can see this ice shove reaching up to people's houses. And the one scary thing about this phenomena is that you can't stop it. You can see it happening, almost in slow motion because it occurs slowly, but you can't do anything about it. What would you do if you were in his situation? Scary and creepy videos are uploaded daily to social media, and most of them can be debunked or have a very good explanation.
Shaking. This one is on, okay? It's Mom. See what I mean? It's you can hear it. Mom, nope, no.
However, it is a very different case with Kimberly Winchester, who uploaded a very interesting video to her TikTok. She noticed something strange happening in the hospital she worked at, and this is what happened.
Just not superstitious like that, and basically, like, I just ignored it, and then some weird stuff started happening. What the f***?
Kimberly notices a dark figure that seems to be following her through the reflection mirrors.
To the corner where I recorded the video, so basically the ghost would be like standing right up in this area, and I was recording over here. What the?
In hospitals and many other places, these kind of mirrors are installed to give us a sense of security. And I guess it was the contrary with Kimberly. She was feeling completely unsafe, when all of a sudden, this was captured through one of the mirrors. In this chilling footage, it is very difficult for us to affirm exactly what creature or what is this thing that she captured. We can see Kimberly in the middle hallway zooming in at the mirror, afraid to take any step further, and I can completely understand why. Leave a comment. What do you think is going on here? Well, this is it for now, but we do have more videos. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy this one, subscribe with notifications on. I do have another channel, link is in the description, and I'll see you guys again.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is James LaFleur with the Impossible Channel. Welcome aboard. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Guys, we have a breaking story today. It seems that there was an earthquake in the UK, a 3.9 registered earthquake in the UK that actually was felt by a lot of people around, not just the UK. And we have what seems to be bizarre, eerie, and ominous lightning happening in the sky moments before this earthquake.
Yeah, right there, right, see it? Right there.
Right.
Oh my god, honey. Oh my fucking god.
Now remember Mexico last year? We had Mexico and Japan in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. These things occurred before, folks. Bizarre and ominous lightning happening in the sky moments before an earthquake happens. In Mexico, it was terrifying because people all over saw this blue lightning without an explanation. People said that it was not a storm. So of course, that's where all the conspiracy theories come in. UFOs, aliens, HARP, whatever, man, you name it. Now this has been taped by some of our subscribers. We're going to be showing you guys the videos. I just want you to remember that this also happened in Mexico last year and in Japan, and still we do not have an official explanation of what this is. Of course, scientists are gonna say it's this and that, but are they correct? Is this the truth? Is this really what's going on? We do not know. We know that HARP exists. They are geoengineering the sky, so they might as well be causing earthquakes artificially. Now let's take a look at these videos we have. You can clearly notice that the subscribers are scared. They're seeing something that not necessarily we are seeing. I'm going to put videos side by side, the original video on one side and the enhanced version on the other side, so we can try to see the same thing that this subscriber is seeing. Now remember folks, we're talking about blue ominous lightning that is not coming from a storm, happening moments before an earthquake.
There's a mad, see behind that, there's a mad spaceship hanging up there. They've seen us.
That just
there it is, over there. Over there.
Can I see it in my camera though?
No. There, right there, right, see it? Right there.
Aye.
Oh my god, hon. Oh my fucking god. This is him. Watch this. I know. Look, she's scared. She's sensing it. There it is over there.
Yeah, I need to
whoa, look. Dirty. The big simulation.
There's a star. There's a wee bright light it's just fell down. Oh my god. What the hell?
Whoa.
Should I go shine it on it?
I am.
Look!
Can't believe this.
Go and get the telescope.
You won't be able to see it with the telescope.
This earthquake happened just now in the UK, 3.9, and we're talking about people all over seeing and feeling this. We also have, I just want you to guys know that there's a warning in Sweden. They got this booklet, this end of the world booklet. They just received this. They are being prepared for a massive type event. We are not still receiving any type of booklets here where I'm at, nothing like that. But you guys know how things are, right? So in Sweden, I'm going to show you guys in minutes. I'm going to show you this entire booklet that has been sent to one of our subscribers in Sweden. But just so you know, folks, this is connected. There is something big going to happen, and it already started. We have the entire ring of fire going off. There's also a bizarre, anonymous warning coming in from the USGS. They say that it's internal first, that it's still not massive warning for everyone, but everyone is prepared to receive ready alert systems in their cell phones, on their TVs, right? So there's a warning from the USGS coming in from a massive tsunami that is about to hit the US at any moment, caused by massive blocks of land that will dislocate because of these volcanoes that are going off in the ring of fire. So it does make sense that people in Sweden are being prepared for massive economic shutdown or something like that. Now, we have video coming in from other people, from other subscribers in the UK hours before this earthquake, and we have reason to believe that it was artificially caused. This subscriber was very nice enough to observe that when we have these red skies, bizarre red skies, in moments of the day, very far away from sunset or sunrise, it is usually HAARP. Now, I have videos of it. I'm going to show you guys videos of what seems to be these massive moments in the sky that people catch and they say, what the heck is this, right? Well, these just might be whatever they're using to cause these massive earthquakes or plate movements. Now, take a look at this video, guys. I'm going to roll the video, and what happened was very interesting. There we have two people talking to each other in disbelief that this could be something different, and hours later, the earthquake, the 3.9 earthquake happened, and they confirm with one another that the sunrise, sunset, whatever bizarre thing that they saw in the sky that was not a sunrise or a sunset was indeed probably what caused the earthquake. Let's take a look at this video.
What's that round thing? Is that a reflection of the sun?
Sun. You'd think it was, anyway.
It's reflection of the sun, isn't it? It's not the actual sun.
I don't know.
Because the sun's dropped now, that's why you got red sky. In fact, it goes right in a straight line all the way down there.
Now, as you can see, folks, hours before the earthquake happened in the UK, people were already seeing this massive thing in the sky that made no sense at all. It was no sunset, it was no sunrise, but it did look like one. What is happening, right? So they take notice of it, they video it. Hours later, they confirm an earthquake hit. Now, I have posted before, and other channels have posted before about this. A lot of people have been seeing bizarre and ominous lightning in the sky and taking notice that it wasn't a rain. What is going on, right? For example, is the movie Geostorm total predictive programming? This was one of the questions. Now, I'm going to show you guys in a few seconds the booklet that people are getting in Sweden, that they're being prepared for this end of the world massive event that is supposed to happen. But before I do that, folks, I'm going to show you guys a incredible footage, incredible video that came in from a subscriber. And this is scary also, because we're all carrying phones probably. But this phone, in this example here, this phone is turned off, I understand. And this person is measuring the electromagnetic energy that this phone is emitting turned off. Now, what is scary is that it tops the permitted limit. I mean, there's a healthy limit and there's an unhealthy limit, electromagnetic limit, and this phone tops this limit turned off. Let's take a look at this video. This is amazing. Now, folks, this is one of those things that everybody's been talking about. Like, the question that begs is it safe to carry a phone? Because I understand companies warn us of the dangers of carrying a phone in our ears. They do recommend us using headphones. So, is it that dangerous? I don't know, you tell me. Look at this video. There is even a comparison, this subscriber, there's a comparison between the phone and a charger, and the phone is actually emitting more micro Tesla. So this is kind of weird. This is scary. Now let's go to the booklet that people are getting in Sweden, being prepared for this massive event. I'm going to swipe. Of course, this is in Swedish, but we're going to try to understand what is written here by looking at the images. And not, I mean, they're talking about bunkers, airplanes, preparing for a massive thing, so stocking food. So, you know, I just went to Google and I started searching for Sweden out through articles that they are indeed preparing them for something. The army, for example, has been mobilized for the first time in 40 years. What? Yes, you heard me right. They mobilized the army for the first time in 40 years, 4 decades. Now that's scary, because if you take into consideration everything that is happening worldwide, and I'm not even talking about the fact that we have Mr. You-Know-Who talking to Mr. You-Know-Who in North You-Know-Who. So, you know, I'm talking about the fact that we have hurricanes happening, earthquakes, volcanoes going off everywhere. This is massive, folks. If it is artificially being provoked, I've told you guys in my last video, think about social credit. They're preparing us for a new world order, and this is scary.
This is dead hard. Eep. Eep. It's weird, isn't it? I don't know, look, it's like a spherical object, but what the fuck? Look, you see?
Well, this is it for today, folks. If you haven't subscribed, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again.
TV. Estamos aqui em Caraguatatuba, dia 13, Dia dos Pais, 13 de agosto de 2017. A tal da maré seca que já vem atingindo as cidades lá do sul chegou aqui em Caraguatatuba.
Aí eu queria saber de vocês quantas tartarugas já foram que vocês resgataram mais ou menos aqui?
Só hoje, 6, 7.
Hoje? Hoje
que
foram 6, 7. Tá.
A gente ficou sabendo, fora os que a gente ainda não soube.
Tá. Eu vou lá gravar.
Cara, tipo, foi recente, assim, não sei avaliar. O nosso técnico tem outro da nossa equipe.
Folks, wild turtles, you know, been dying and everything. The problem I told you guys about sand smuggling, we have sand smuggling happening. The ocean is actually the same level, but the continents are sinking. That's the truth. The amount of iPhones and computers and everything, cars and buildings and highways that we have built today is disturbing. So this is what happens.
Sabe se pode ser contagioso, né? Então a gente quando mexe com luva. Nossa, como você assim, não dá.
Não é não?
Já acho que ele só deu uma lavada. Obrigado, hein?
But I'm gonna actually show you guys the reason that most of these things are happening. I believe it's got to do with the storm. Yesterday there was a...
Folks, it is sinking, it is going down.
It is sinking, folks, and this is bad. They're trying to convince you guys that it's actually rising. How? Well, it's kind of easy, right? If you have the sand disappearing, it's kind of easy to convince people that the ocean level is rising, of course. But then a subscriber sent an email and said, James, why don't you simply go there with a barometer, you know what I mean, like a barometer and a altimeter, I don't know how to say that. You know, just go there and measure at any beach that you think is suitable, you know. And I thought, I know this beach that has this huge erosion problem, you know, this huge sand problem for quite a while now. And I was like, okay, should I go there? And I thought to myself, I should go there, you know. Well, so I did a video last year at this exact same place, you know, and I was at -3 meters, and it was a very bad application I was using at the time. So right now I'm using a better one, and I'm going to show you guys where I am right now. I am at -0.7 meters. That would be around -2.9 feet. So the impression they want to give us is that the ocean level is rising, And I don't think so. Right now. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. Crazy. I thought, you know, like, that's impossible. That's simply impossible. You know, the application was, you know, was halted at 0 meters, and I was like, yeah, there's something wrong. I think it was to go more, you know, I think it was to go down. There's something stopping it. So I downloaded this other application, which does this kind of, it does this calculation between the pressure, the GPS, altitude, and other things involved, and it gives you a more precise altitude. Okay, there are a lot of people using this application to be accurate, so I like it. You know, it's fun. So the thing is, right now we just passed the place. If I'm not mistaken, we are passing it. We just passed the place that was supposed to be.
La mejor cerveza del mundo según el World Beer Challenge es ámbar especial. Ámbar, pequeños cerveceros.
-4 meters, and that's kind of aggravating. Here, you know, it's all going downhill, I mean, right? As you can see, the sand is literally going down, and the ocean is angry. Today, it's angry. And very low, very far from here, very distant from here, we have these boats, these ships, these dredging ships, you know, is smuggling sand. And there's no one to stop them because it's international waters. Who's gonna stop this? So this beach exactly has a very big erosion problem, and the thing is, I can kind of prove that it's sinking because of the rocks. You can see by the markings, the ocean markings on the rocks are completely wrong according to every report that's been said about the ocean level rising. It just doesn't match. If I show you guys right now, and I can do that right now, I can head over, I will show you the markings, and today you can see the ocean is very angry. The markings on the rocks show us that the water's sea level is actually going down. The sea level is actually going down. That's very controversial according to what scientists are saying, so let's just do that right now. Yeah, folks, these are the rocks. We're getting there right now. Folks, so here you are. Gonna, you know, just blast off this whole entire community of scientists to say the sea levels are rising. This is the biggest BS they've ever told you. It's not the type of beach you can see any ocean, any wave or surfer, right? Okay. Today is Wednesday, okay, and if you check out on the calendars, we'll see that the water is supposed to be very angry, the ocean is supposed to be very angry, so we're gonna measure the markings on the rocks, and it's just ridiculous. It starts out just ridiculous. Let me show you guys why this is just ridiculous. And now the ocean doesn't come here anymore. What does that say? The ocean levels are rising? What does that say, huh? The ocean levels are rising. This is where the ocean level was, okay, up until, I don't know, 10 years ago, and I'm talking about here, okay? This is where the ocean level was. Just confirmed. Yes, confirmation. Thank you, rock. You guys rock. Did I just say that? So here you go. This is where the ocean was just a couple of years ago. Let me just back up so you understand what I'm talking about. Let me just show you guys the type of criminal mind, or the type of lie, the size of the conspiracy that they are giving you guys. So let me just zoom in the rock that we were talking about right now. Okay, that's where the ocean was. Now look at where it is. So I just showed you through an application that we are at -7 meters, -2.6 feet. And you can clearly see we're losing sand. Look at this rock over here.
We are losing sand. This rock never showed up before. Never. And the proof is it doesn't have any sea kind of any beams, any sea, nothing, any shells, clams, nothing. See that? The proof that this thing is new. It never showed up. This rock is actually showing up just right now because of the ocean level. Is because it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have clams, it doesn't have shells, nothing. Let me show you guys a rock that has been underwater for quite some time now. This is one of them. And this is what happens when you have a rock that is underwater for quite some time. Right? We have clams, we have shells, we have life. Do you see that? Right? Okay. Guys, I hope you understand. This is kind of serious. This is kind of serious. You know, it used to be, as you can see, the ocean was kind of this level over here. And right now, it's where I'm at. You know, so it's sinking. It's clearly sinking. This is bad. And they're lying to us. Look at this. You see that? It's sinking. Let me climb this. So here we go. Exactly standing on is, well, erosion, you know what I mean? It's going away. It's just, yeah. So the place that I'm standing on right now is losing sand to the ocean to cover whatever dredging they're doing. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. Well, folks, it's clearly simple. It's clearly simple. They're lying to us about a lot of things. One of the things is the shape of the Earth, the size of the Earth, the amount of continents we have, right? The amount of human beings that we have living on this planet, right? And the other thing that they're lying to very, very clearly is the ocean level rising. So if you care about the world, folks, the beaches, the islands, they're all disappearing. Please do share this video. This is very important. They're lying to us that the ocean levels are rising while they're not. And they're making this part of a global warming conspiracy while there are a lot of things happening at the same time. Okay, this is very important. Right now we're gonna have storms, earthquakes. One of the reasons that the continents are actually shaking is because they're lacking sand. The sand that holds the continents is actually drifting towards the middle of the oceans. And this is generating a big shift. Please do share.
Nueva alarma con cerradura inteligente de Securitas Direct, porque la seguridad de tu hogar empieza en tu puerta.
Solo hay una cosa mejor que ser influencer. Ser ahorrer.
Just a simple thought that there are things that we don't fully understand, things that we don't know exactly how to explain, can leave anyone creeped out.
Mira, una bruja, Mary.
¿Verdad?
Go, go, go!
From bizarre encounters with strange cryptids shadow people, and other creepy things that we wouldn't even know where to begin to explain, to creepy sightings of megalodon-like creatures.
I'm not going over there, Mom.
Why?
In this video, we're going to be analyzing and taking a look into creepy things that ended up being caught on camera. Are you guys ready? Well, let's go. One of my favorite things to do when I'm on vacation is travel to the beach and enjoy a sunny day. And at night, share creepy and scary stories of things that happened in the ocean. The thing is, there are several stories and myths of strange and huge creatures that supposedly roam our oceans.
Come to Wexford Island and we have an animal which is a bit strange.
In Ireland, a dragon-like creature was found washed ashore, left locals baffled.
Smelly.
And as you can see, it's very difficult to affirm or even state what this creature is. It does not look like a whale or anything like that. What do you think? At a beach in Russia, a furry-like creature was found by locals and also left them baffled. Now in this case, what's curious is that the creature was partially covered in sand, and locals tried to dig it all out using a shovel, but they were unable. The creature was that big. Now some suggested that it was some sort of woolly mammoth that had washed ashore due to melting glaciers. Others suggested that it could be some sort of huge, unknown sea creature, while experts tried to find an explanation and suggested that maybe it was parts of a sea whale or a shark. However, to this day, it remains a mystery. The thing is, we know very little about what really lives inside our oceans. About 5 to 10% of it is uncovered by us. The rest is unknown. Take this video for instance as an example. It was captured by Bob Plum 3,000 meters deep into the Gulf of Mexico. This creature seems to be a shark, but it doesn't have a dorsal fin, so it must be something else. It's videos like these and many others that leaves us baffled, scratching our heads thinking, wow, there's got to be loads more hidden there deep under the sea.
What is that? Oh my god! What is that?
And there is. In this next video posted by Adam Haran on YouTube, supposedly a Brazilian Coast Guard was doing a rescue when all of a sudden something different was captured on camera. Check this out. A long and huge creature swims just next to one of the rescuers. If you watch closely, this thing is too big to be a shark or maybe even a whale. When this video was posted online, it sparked a discussion between, is this a real megalodon sighting or is this fake? Now, a megalodon is an extinct species of a shark that lived approximately 4 million years ago, and to this day there is no official sighting of such a creature. However, in few occasions, divers find themselves face to face with what could be traces of the existence of a megalodon. So on one hand, many internet users believe that this could be a real megalodon sighting, and on another hand, there were loads of people saying that this was actually a faked video. Now, I haven't found any official statement saying that this is fake. However, who knows? It could be. In your opinion, could it be that this video is the real deal or is it something else? And could Megalodon, a huge shark that lived millions of years ago, still be out there somewhere in our oceans? Now, when it comes to exploring beautiful places in the Dominican Republic, William Ramos TV is one of the best YouTube channels there is. If you take a look at his channel, he has about 300,000 subscribers, and he does videos focused on tourism. None of his videos are actually focused on the strange, the bizarre, or the mysterious. In one particular video, William asks a guide to show them around an area that not long ago was known as a native cemetery, and more recently known as a place for people to go to practice witchcraft. William asks the guide to show the place around. The guide begins then explaining how certain rituals were done in this place and inside the caves. There seems to be petroglyphs all over, and some of them had certain meanings. This is when all of a sudden they actually capture something strange on camera. This is what happened.
Cree que tallaban estos petroglifos para proteger estos lugares. Y si ven la expresión,
sí,
es un
como
poquito.
cuidado.
Es como
Sí.
cuidado, mi hermano.
Vigilando, sí, es verdad.
Right at the entrance of the cave, they notice a petroglyph that resembles some sort of humanoid figure. This bizarre humanoid-shaped figure is said to be an entity that protects the entrance of the cave. This is when they decide to continue to explore the cave entrance, and all of a sudden, this happens.
Aquí excavaron, fue ahí, ¿verdad? Sí, hicieron una excavacióncita. ¿Qué usted cree que puedan encontrar?
No, ponían su petroglifo como en señal de que ellos vivían y como que era una protección.
Did you see it? In the background, something seems to move. It did not capture the attention of William nor his team at the time. This was something that his subscribers actually pointed out days later after the video was uploaded. At first, I thought this was just a person. However, if you take a look, rewind and slow-mo the video, you can actually see this is something else. The thing is, if you watch the full video on his channel, William Ramos and his team were all alone at this place. There was no one else with them. And at this exact moment, they were all at this side of the cave, just about to enter it. There was no one there at that other side. So whatever this thing is, could it be some sort of cryptid caught on camera, or maybe an entity that takes care of this place, or even maybe someone that was following them the entire time? What's your take? Now, if there's one thing that I enjoy doing is listening to good music. I enjoyed the 60s and the 70s, and I think it was a very magical time. However, there is something dark, mysterious, and very creepy about the 60s. And it's the fact that many bands at the time affirmed to have some sort of contact with the occult. Bands like Led Zeppelin, The Doors, and many others were said to have sold their souls to the devil at some point in exchange for fame and money.
So about a week, not today, but about a week ago, I sold my soul.
I sold my soul to have a life that I wanted.
I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
And it was not very different with Bob Dylan. In a chilling interview, Bob talks about his deal with destiny.
I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Now, if you pay attention, it doesn't seem like Bob Dylan is making a joke about it or even having fun. He seems quite serious about it. And for some mysterious reason, he's telling all of this on live television for millions of people to see. But it's what he's about to say next that will chill you to the bone.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
Now, what makes this all even creepier is the fact that Bob Dylan began his career in 1959, and by 61, he was already very famous. Bob looked up to Robert Johnson, a musician from the 1920s, who was said to be one of the first musicians to sell his soul to the devil. He actually stated that in many songs of his, and at the age of 27, he died in mysterious ways. In your opinion, what is really going on here, and why do some singers and famous people like Bob Dylan come forward regretfully stating that they did such a thing? Now talk about capturing something really creepy on camera. Back in 1679, Oliver Plunkett was a bishop for the Catholic Church, and he was arrested by the English monarchy for promoting Catholic faith. At the time, it was considered a very serious crime. And a couple of years later, in 1681, he was executed in Newgate Prison in London. Now here's where things start to get really creepy. In 1921, almost 250 years later, Oliver Plunkett's head and his jail cell door were brought to St. Peter's Church in Ireland for display. His head was placed on a neatly decorated glass box, and his jail cell was set up just next to it, the same jail cell where Oliver Plunkett was held as a prisoner for 8 months before he was executed. Now Vicky Bramshaw is a YouTuber who was on vacation when she decided to visit this creepy place. This is when she actually captured something chilling on camera. Check this out.
This is the door of the cell in Newgate Prison, where St. Oliver Plunkett was imprisoned for 8 months.
He's a very interesting figure, because he was one of the first ecumenical Christians.
Vicky captures what appears to be a pale face looking back straight at them through one of the openings in the door. Now whatever this thing is, back at the time, many internet users left comments saying that this was some sort of reflection. However, to me, it doesn't look like that, and if we actually take a look at this same door through other videos, I don't see how a reflection could actually happen there. So, could this actually be the ghost of Oliver Plunkett, or maybe something else? Back in the old days, witchcraft, rituals, and things of sort were believed to be a way of communicating with the other side, as in ghosts, spirits, and demonic entities. It was sort of common knowledge. Nowadays, things have changed. We have internet, we have technology, and most people don't know anything about rituals or witchcraft. However, in certain countries and cultures, this common knowledge still exists and is still used. This is the case, for example, in Mexico. Now there is a YouTuber in Mexico known as Payaso de la Toledo, and they do exploration in places such as cemeteries and abandoned houses in search for people practicing rituals.
Dios mío. Están rezando, compa.
In my opinion, it's not a very intelligent idea because it could be very dangerous. The thing is, at first, I thought that their videos were faked. However, when I learned that they are live streaming, this is when I actually started to pay attention that maybe this is the real deal. And in one particular video, things don't go exactly as they expect. And this is what happens.
Uy, sí es.
Eso es allá adelante, payaso.
Sí. ¿Quién eres?
At first, the group of explorers finds what appears to be a person dressed in all black, hidden in one of the trees. Because they are unable to cross the river, they try to communicate with this person, without success. They then decide to start exploring deeper into the cemetery. And this is when things start to get creepier.
Dios mío. Vean, vean. Mira, 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 compa. Miren. Lo que estaba en el árbol, hay que checar, compa. Ay, espéreme, espéreme. Sí. Escuchen, escuchen, escuchen. Miren, miren, ahí está algo, miren. Ahí está algo, mira, ahí hay algo. Vámonos por este lado. Ay, Dios mío. ¡Uy, papá! Hay más acá abajo, hay más acá abajo, hay más acá abajo, hay más acá, véngase, véngase, véngase. Hay más acá abajo.
Payaso de la Toledo is trying to capture some sort of ritual on camera, and it seems that they are in the right place. There's something happening here. This is when they hear a strange noise coming from not so far away. They decide to follow it. And this is what happens next.
Pues, ¿qué, compa? ¿Le seguimos por acá o nos vamos, le damos vuelta? Miren, amigos. árbol, güey. Arriba del árbol está como una mujer. ¡Mira una mujer! Arriba del árbol está como una mujer. Ahí está. Es una bruja, compa.
Ahí arriba,
no sé, güey, pero ahí hay algo.
Hay una bruja ahí,
Cuidado atrás, compa. No pueden
The
llegar.
group spots what appears to be a person on top of one of the trees. They can't exactly agree to what it is. They decide to get closer to it. However, when they do, there is absolutely nothing there.
Arriba, compa, acá. Hoy, aquí arriba del árbol. Ya no hay nada, compa. Ya no hay nada. Ya no hay nada.
This is when, I guess, for the first time, the group realizes that they shouldn't be there. And this is what they ended up capturing on camera.
Por este lado también se escuchó. Hoy. Mire. Ahí está uno. Ahí se agachó uno, mire. Ahí se agachó uno, mire. Ahí va, mire. Ahí va.
They come across a group of people dressed in robes of different colors. However, these people don't seem to be very much happy about it. Toledo's group decides then to start running. This is what happens next.
Véngase por acá, compa. Nos van a rodear. No son más, compa. Miren. Mira, ahí van más, miren. Miren, amigos. Miren. Acá están en la tuba verde. Cuidado, por acá. Arriba del árbol. Arriba del árbol.
Toledo and his friends run in fear, and I can completely understand why. However, it's very difficult to affirm if this is indeed a group of people that was performing a ritual, or if they were just grave robbers with the intention to scare anyone approaching whatever they are doing in the cemetery. In your opinion, what do you think is going on here? And if you were in Toledo's position, what would you have done? Now, I don't know about you, but there's something creepy about the ancient Egyptian pyramids. I'm not too sure exactly why, but when I look at the petroglyphs and the way they built the pyramids, I just feel this weird sensation that maybe there was something else to their time. If you actually look at it, the greatness they achieved and all that, it makes us question exactly who built it and how. Was it really human technology, or was it something else? The thing is, about a year ago, the Giza pyramids were visited by strange objects, and lots of people actually captured it on camera. And it happened again just last week. Check this out. Video uploaded by Adriano to Facebook, we can see what appears to be a luminous object just on top of the pyramid. And at first, it appears to be some sort of drone, or maybe something like that. The object is too big, however, to be a drone in my opinion. It could be something else. Now, last year, in 2020, it happened differently, and this is what was captured on camera.
What's that? What is going on? What is going on? No. I feel like they're actually. Whoa. Oh my actual.
In your opinion, what is going on here? Could it be a drone or maybe something else? What's your take? Now, if you've ever researched into creepy topics, you've probably come across shadow people. Now, shadow people are supposedly evil entities that appear in people's dreams and in their rooms in the middle of the night. Creepy thing about it is that loads of people claim to have seen such a thing at some point in their lives, and some of them say that bad things happen some days later after seeing it. Now, Sabia Il is a YouTuber who a couple of months ago started experiencing strange things in her home. She actually saw objects moving by themselves and heard whispering sounds. She was able to capture some of it on camera, and it appeared that there was a shadow person in her house. Sabia Il did what most people would do, and she moved out into a new apartment where things were going good. Until a couple of weeks ago, when strange things started happening again. And this is what she was able to capture on camera.
Knipper er weer aan en uit het hal. In het nieuwe huis. Dat.
Sabia Il was apparently setting up her Christmas tree when all of a sudden one of the lights in her hallway starts flickering by itself. She went to check it out in hopes that it was just an electric failure, but it wasn't, and she was just about to find out. This is what happens next.
Verdorie. Heel klaar mee. Oh. Oh.
Her hallway lights go off by themselves once again, and Sabia Il starts to panic. Now if you look at the video, it's very hard to understand exactly what's going on, but if we mess with the contrast and the brightness, you can actually see that when she was about to go into the hallway, she spots a tall, dark figure staring right back at her. This is very difficult to make out in the original video, and this is one of the reasons I believe this could be the real deal. Whatever this thing is, it's probably not a friendly entity, and Sabia Il made a very good move not going into that hallway all alone. What's your take? In your opinion, could Sabia Il be faking these videos for views, or is it something else? Now, Sabia Il isn't the only one to capture strange things in relation to shadow people and things of sort. Working as a security guard in the night shift has its perks. It can be a good thing because it's quieter, but at the same time, it can be as scary as it can get. And it's not much different with Matt Janai, who posted a video to YouTube in August 22nd, 2020 of something chilling that happened to him. And this is what he caught on camera.
Aku tak faham tu pintu yang tandas tu selalu sangat terbuka. Masuk hari ni dah 12 kali pintu tu saya terbuka je. Jam sekarang dah pukul 3.24 pagi. Apa nak jadi hari ni, aku akan cari apa benda yang sebab pintu terbuka untuk malam ni. Kita tutup lah pintu tu. Kalau terbuka balik, kita naik atas dan cek sekali lagi.
Matt Janai does some checking around. He goes upstairs, he locks the door, he makes sure that there is no one inside or outside the building. This is when Matt Janai goes back downstairs, and when he looks up he realizes the doors are open once again. Thinking that it might be someone pranking him, he runs upstairs. This is what happens next.
Sial betul, aku baru tutup tak sampai berapa minit. Terbuka lagi pintu ni. Kita tengok apa yang ada kat dalam. Sial betul. Baru tak baru sampai berapa minit. Terbuka balik. Oi, siapa dalam oi? Kosong. Kosong juga.
Seconds before Janai goes into the bathroom, his phone suffers some sort of electronic failure. It's when he opens the door that he realizes that there's something there, just behind it. What appears to be a tall, dark figure. Could be a shadow person. Now what leads me to believe that this video might not be fake is Janai's reaction, and taking into consideration that this figure, whatever it is, it's too tall and too big to be a human being, but I could be wrong. What's your take? Don't forget we now have a new Discord server you can join anytime, and if you enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel with notifications on for more videos like this. Don't forget we do have more videos if you want to check them out, and I'll see you guys again.
Photos are strange things, snapshots of a moment in time frozen forever. But some of them harbor much darker stories than the ordinary scene they purport to show. From a group of friends smiling moments before their doom, to an innocuous landscape with a dark secret. I hope you weren't planning on sleeping tonight. It's time to investigate some normal-looking photos with disturbing backstories. Chris Kremers and Lisanne Froon. Traveling the world is an enriching, freeing experience that will stay with you forever. Exactly why Dutch students Chris Kremers and Lisanne Froon went to Panama in early 2014. They'd planned on hiking, touring, and volunteering teaching local children. So when you see this photo, recovered from their digital camera, you assume everything was going great. In reality, they just made the biggest mistake of their lives. It was taken on April 1st, after Chris and Lisanne left their host family's home in the mountain town of Boquete. They'd taken the family dog on a walk through the nearby forests. However, that evening, the dog returned without them. The family waited until the next day, but when the girls didn't show up for a walking tour that morning, they alerted the authorities. A search party was put together, and the town and forests were swept high and low. No matter how hard they looked, though, no trace of the tourists could be found. Until, that is, 10 weeks later, when a local woman turned in a backpack, claiming to have found it along the banks of the river. Inside was a variety of personal items, Lisanne's camera, and both girls' cell phones. When the police investigated the camera and cell phones, a disturbing picture of what had happened began to be painted. Over the 4 days since their first disappearance, 77 attempts had been made to call the police, but because of the dense jungle, only one went through, which broke up after just 2 seconds. Several unsuccessful attempts were also made to unlock Chris's phone on April 6th. By April 11th, both phones were dead. Even more worrisome were the photos on Lisanne's camera. The first ones were taken on April 1st and were largely innocent, though some wily observers have since pointed out odd anomalies, like this shadow, which doesn't seem to be coming from either girl. As the photos progress, though, the girls' smiles fade and are replaced by more somber, even haunting expressions. Is this just coincidence, or had something dampened their mood? It's hard to say, but the final set of photos is seriously troubling. Taken between 1 and 4 a.m. on April 8th, a whole 7 days after they'd first set out, they show what appears to be some kind of makeshift marker, maybe to mark their position. Random images of the forest around them and the back of Chris's head. Expecting the worst, police conducted a search of the area the backpack had been found in. Sadly, their fears were confirmed. Both girls' bones were discovered, as well as Chris's clothing, which had been neatly folded by the edge of the river. Damn. But who'd folded them? Perhaps locals, but that seems an odd thing to do. What's more, although Lisanne's bones looked like they'd decomposed naturally, Chris's were stark white, as if they'd been bleached. Okay. After the gruesome discovery, police questioned locals, tour guides, and other hikers who'd been in the area, but ultimately, they learned nothing. To this day, the whole case remains a harrowing mystery. But that's not to say there aren't theories. The most widely accepted is the simplest, that Chris and Lisanne simply went off the beaten track and got lost, a mistake that ultimately cost them their lives. But their tour guide, who knows the area well, was adamant it'd be near impossible to get lost on the trail they were walking. Everything was well signposted. In that case, maybe they'd been on the run from something or someone, and felt forced to leave the trail behind and delve into the unknown. Meaning all those erratic photos in the dark might have been an attempt to scare whatever it was away. A lot of people online seem to think so, but surely their pursuer would have been visible in at least one of the images if so. It seems more likely that they were using the camera flash to light their way, or, as the photos of the sky suggest, to try and send some kind of SOS signal. Taking the failed calls into account, this theory paints a sad story of two desperate women lost in the jungle who eventually succumbed to the wilderness. As for their scattered remains, animals would be more than capable of that. It doesn't explain the bleached bones or Chris's neatly folded clothes. So what gives? Could there be a more sinister explanation to the girl's disappearance? Perhaps. The digital camera used to take photos has a missing image that was deleted for some reason. We know this because the camera automatically numbered all the pics, and image 509, taken sometime between the daytime snaps and the eerie nighttime ones, is nowhere to be found. Why would they have deleted one random photo but none of the others? Unless somebody else deleted it because it showed some kind of evidence of a crime, maybe even the culprit. Some people believe the girl's tour guide had something to do with it. After they failed to show for his tour, he visited the house they were staying at to look for them and apparently spent some 30 minutes in their room. Doing what exactly? Some people reckon he planted evidence, his calling card, which was found in their room. Some say the girls might never have had a booking with him at all, and he was just using that as an excuse to be in their house and give himself an alibi. As for the nighttime photos, a red herring to throw investigators off, but we really don't know. We do know he assisted with the investigation afterwards and even found some of the girls' remains. Did he know where to look all along and was just covering his tracks? Did he fold the clothes up to throw investigators off the scent? What if the girls had met him on April 1st, but halfway through the hike he'd become hostile? My head's in a spin. Reviews of the tour guide on TripAdvisor are overwhelmingly positive, aside from one. In it, the reviewer claims he was overly flirtatious with her and even joked about attacking her with a machete. Right. This was posted years after Chris and Lisanne went missing and could just be an internet troll. But it's weird nonetheless. The problem is, this is all speculation. There just isn't enough evidence for any of it. And I don't want to lay blame on anybody when they could easily be innocent. Yeah, it seems we're no closer to knowing what happened to these poor girls than when we started. What do you think? Did Chris Kremers and Lisanne Froon simply get lost in the jungle, or is there a darker edge to this tragedy? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, tap those like and subscribe buttons. That way you'll never miss out on another video like this one again. Ready for some more unnerving photos? Let's dive back in. Ghost of Dundas Peak. Back in 2016, Reddit user Sliced Up Beef made a post to the r/creepy subreddit. In it, she described how she and a friend had gone hiking at Dundas Peak in Hamilton, Ontario. They'd been inspired because her friend's cousin had been a few days before and posted this photo of the lookout on Instagram. So Sliced Up Beef and her friend made the journey, then when they got there, took turns recreating the pic. However, Sliced Up Beef's friend messaged her a month or so after with strange news. She said she'd been looking back through the photos, comparing them, when she noticed something odd in the pic her cousin had taken. way below on the edge of the trail, where the slope is too steep to stand on, there appears to be a thin person standing unnaturally straight against the rocks. As if that wasn't creepy enough, they don't seem to have a face. Ooh. The faceless figure is nowhere to be seen in any of the other pics, despite them being taken from similar angles. After this spooky revelation, Sliced Up Beef took to Reddit and made the post looking for answers. It wasn't long before other members of the community chimed in with their own 2 cents. Some were skeptical, suggesting the figure was just a part of the rock formation and that the colors making up the head, legs, and torso could also be found in the nearby cliffs. That could be true, but the torso looks whiter than the cliff face to the left, and the black of the head and legs isn't matched by any of the surrounding rock. Other commenters suggested it was just a hiker, but this seems less likely considering how steep and dangerous that cliffside looks. Still, the shape looks uncannily human. Could someone have gotten lost on the trail? And that's not accounting for the, lack of face, unless they had dark hair covering it. Which just leaves the final theory. There's no doubt Dundas Peak is a dangerous trail to climb, and it's seen its fair share of tragedy over the years. Is the figure the wandering soul of a hiker that lost their footing? Some people certainly think so. I'm going to err on the side of logic and say it's probably not. Even so, there's something seriously off-putting about that rigidly straight, faceless figure that'll stick with me long after this video's over. Not so innocent. Want to know my first thoughts when I saw this photo? What a happy-looking guy. Is he about to go on a picnic? I couldn't have been more wrong. See, the smiling man is actually Harold Agnew, a U.S. physicist that witnessed the first sustained nuclear chain reaction in 1942 and was partially responsible for the assembly of the first atomic bomb 3 years later. And that in his hand, it's definitely not a picnic box. That's the plutonium core that would go on to be placed inside Fat Man, the nuclear bomb which was dropped from a plane over Nagasaki that same year and wiped out over 80,000 people. The photo was taken on Tinian Island in the Pacific in 1945, where Project Alberta, the group responsible for assembling and delivering the bomb, met. And the really chilling thing about it is just how casual everybody looks. If you didn't know, you'd think these guys were enjoying some military LARPing, not playing a pivotal part in one of the most devastating events in the history of the world. Harold went on to fly in the Great Artiste as a scientific observer, tailing the Enola Gay, which was the aircraft that dropped the bomb on Nagasaki. While in the plane, he managed to get some truly haunting footage that gives a small idea of the carnage that was taking place down below. Yeah, this snap doesn't seem so innocent anymore, does it? The Crouching Man. On the morning of February 26, 2015, 17-year-old Dalen Pua told his family he was going on a hike on a popular trail in Oahu, Hawaii. He was never seen again. Dalen had been visiting his grandma at the time, who was all too aware of the dangers of the trail. But despite her warnings, the teenager decided to go anyway. The 4,000-foot-long hiking trail is called the Haiku Stairs and consists of a steep steel structure of nearly 4,000 steps along the Ko'olau mountain range. At only 18 inches wide at some points, one moment of carelessness could result in a 2,000-foot drop to the hard rocks below. Yet Dalen was determined to conquer the challenge, despite it technically being closed off to the public way back in 1987. So, he set off, and at first everything seemed to be going well. The teenager took several photos as he navigated the mountains and sent them to his family. Only around 11 a.m. on February 26th, the images abruptly stopped, and Dalen failed to come home. After his family reported his disappearance, an extensive search began, involving the Honolulu Fire Department, local volunteers, family, drone operators, and even the U.S. Navy. However, by March 3rd, 5 days after the disappearance, no trace of Dalen had been found. The official search was called off, and while some volunteers carried on, nothing would come of their efforts. It was at this point, Dalen's family took a closer look at one of the last photos he'd sent them and found something truly chilling. Can you see it? There, a little way down the hill, is what looks like a man crouching in the bushes. Now, it could just be a random hiker, but Dalen disappeared shortly after this photo was taken. Was the man stalking Dalen? Was he responsible for the teenager's fate? Perhaps Dalen was documenting his pursuer to either scare him off or record evidence. We can't say for sure. All I know is that the image gives me the serious creeps. We can say that some hikers reported hearing cries for help on March 2nd, just a day before the search was called off. Apparently, 5 people had been tackling the trail when they all heard a single, "Help me," followed by, "I'm down here." After combing the area and alerting authorities, though, all efforts proved utterly fruitless. So, what really happened? The official stance is that Dalen slipped at some point along the trail and fell off the beaten path. From there, he could have survived long enough for the hikers to hear him, but sadly wasn't visible enough to be found on time. The only thing is, if anyone had fallen, they surely couldn't have landed that far from the trail. And although the official search was called off on March 3rd, the area has continued to be searched for years afterwards. Still nothing. Which brings us to the other possibility, that the man in the photo had something to do with it. The Honolulu Police Department put out an alert asking for anyone with information about him to come forward, but nobody ever did. So, his identity and reason for being on the trail remains unknown. Did he kidnap Dalen? If he did, who did those hikers hear? Man, I'm getting the shivers. In an effort to prevent any further tragedies, the Honolulu City Council voted to dismantle the Haiku Stairs back in 2021. And by the time you're watching this, they could well have vanished entirely. Unfortunately, just like Dalen Pua. David A. Johnston. Legs outstretched, a smile on his face that reflects the sunny weather, notebook in hand, David A. Johnston looks about as carefree in this photo as it's possible to be. Just 13 hours later, he was eradicated from existence. Born and raised in Illinois, Johnston graduated in 1971 with highest honors and distinction in geology, before going on to complete a PhD at the University of Washington. Increasingly interested in volcanoes and their processes, he eventually got a job with the U.S. Geological Survey in 1978, where he was tasked with monitoring precursory clues that could lead to volcanic eruptions. 2 years later, in 1980, Mount St. Helens, a huge 8,300-foot volcano in Skamina County, Washington, experienced a magnitude 4.2 earthquake. While relatively light, it meant that for the first time in 123 years, the volcano was awaking, and Johnston was one of the first geologists on the scene. Specifically in charge of volcanic gas studies, Johnston spent long hours every day conducting tests on the grumbling volcano, and he loved it. He became so involved in the work that sometimes he'd climb into the active crater to perform experiments on it. But May 18th, 1980 would be his last day on the job. That day, he was at the Coldwater 2 observatory post watching over the volcano, some 5.5 miles away. He'd taken over the night before from his field assistant, Harry Glicken, and it was during this switch that he'd been photographed. Just 13 hours later, at 8:32 a.m. in the morning of May 18th, there was an almighty rumble, and Johnston sent his final transmission to Washington. Vancouver, this is it." Apparently, his last words were spoken with excitement, not dread. Then, Mount St. Helens erupted. Colossal landslides of rock and ice were sent careening down the volcano's north flank directly towards Johnston. Then, gassy magma and burning hot fluids exploded out and shot north, east, and west at a ferocious 300 miles per hour. Within 6 minutes, 230 square miles, that's 10 Manhattans around the volcano, had been reduced to barren, scorched wasteland. It's hard to say what Johnston's last moments on Earth would have been like, other than apocalyptically terrifying. Despite a thorough search, his body was never found. Tragically, 56 other lives were also snuffed out that day, but the number could have been much greater. See, Johnston and some other scientists had insisted on keeping a wide area around the volcano strictly off-limits to the public in the days leading up to the eruption. What heroes. Today, Johnston's remembered as a key figure in volcanology, and the site of Coldwater 2 has been renamed Johnston's Ridge in honor of him. Nobody could dispute that it's deserved. Webster sisters. Most of the time, the worst thing that can happen when taking a selfie is the lighting turns out bad. Sometimes, however, they can lead to tragedy. Essa Ricker and Kelsey Webster, both 15 years old, and Kelsey's little sister Savannah, just 13, were enjoying a walk through Utah's scenic Spanish Fork Canyon back in October 2011. Suddenly, they heard a low rumbling sound from somewhere off to their right and realized there was a railroad just ahead of them. The train responsible for the rumbling rolled into sight in the distance, and the girls saw an opportunity for a fun pic. Posing beside the tracks, they snapped this selfie as the train passed by. Then Savannah posted it to Facebook. It was the last thing she ever did. The girls were so excited and the train passing by them was so loud that they failed to notice there was a second train coming towards them from the opposite direction. According to the conductor, those on board saw the girls for about 12 agonizing seconds, while he honked the horn as many times as he could, but it was no use. Trains traveling at 55 miles per hour can take over a mile to come to a complete stop after the emergency brakes are applied. This train was only traveling at 39 miles per hour, and it still wasn't enough. After the awful accident, the last photo of Essa, Kelsey, and Savannah was found. And the truly haunting thing is, you can actually see the headlights of the train in the top right corner. Man, this is heartbreaking for the girls themselves, their families, and for the rail staff that had to deal with the aftermath of such a horrific event. Rest in peace. Overcoming your demons. Have you ever taken a photograph and noticed something strange after looking at it more closely? Nah, neither have I. But if you asked Colorado resident Joe Martinez, he'd have a very different answer. Back in 1999, Joe and his wife Patty were attending an in-law's 50th anniversary party and were snapped posing together on the special occasion. They thought nothing of it, enjoyed the party, and carried on with their lives. But 8 years later, in 2007, while flicking through the photo album, Joe and Patty noticed something that chilled them to their cores. Can you see it? There, peeking over Joe's left shoulder, is what appears to be some kind of snarling dog, which wouldn't be so weird if there'd actually been a dog at the party. Both Joe and Patty swear, however, there was no such thing. In fact, they both believe the creepy face actually belongs to a demon. Whoa, hold up. I know, seems like a pretty big leap, right? But it turns out Joe was suffering with a bad addiction problem when the photo was taken, and for years after, until, that is, he noticed the apparent demon dog. Shocked by the discovery, Joe turned his life around. Seeing the demon as a dark sign representing his addiction, he finally found the motivation to kick his bad habit once and for all. Now he carries the photo with him everywhere he goes as a reminder never to relapse, which is actually incredibly wholesome. But does it really show a demonic manifestation of Joe's vices, or is there a more rational explanation? Photograph expert John Davenport examined the image and concluded there's no fakery going on. So that's 1 point for the demon theory. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a case of pareidolia, a phenomenon where people tend to see faces in inanimate objects when they're really just random patterns. That said, what could it be if there's a rational explanation? I really don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The red-haired woman. In an Ask Reddit thread from 2014, the OP asked what the creepiest things hikers have seen while on the trail was. User Gadella08 responded with a link to this image. It might look pretty mundane at first, but if you zoom in just here, you'll see it. Yeah, that's a woman, her face contorted in pain. See, Gadella had been hiking with a couple of his friends on a popular trail in Santa Barbara, California. The trail has a 150-foot waterfall, and they decided to do some bouldering around the bottom of it and snap some photos. In one of those photos, they unknowingly captured 22-year-old Sailor Gulliams in the worst moment of her life. The day before, she'd been hiking with her friend, but they'd got lost on the way back and had grown dark. Trying to navigate, Sailor had jumped off a rock and landed badly, fracturing her leg. So her friend Vega picked her up and tried to carry her the rest of the way. It didn't end well. Vega slipped, breaking his elbow and shattering Sailor's ankle. Now they were in real trouble. Completely unable to walk, Sailor had no choice but to stay put while Vega went off to get help, but he never returned. So Sailor lay there screaming for help all night until she couldn't scream anymore. Eventually, unbelievably, help did come, in the form of Gadella08 and his two friends. By now, it was Monday afternoon, and the trail was otherwise completely empty. But one of Gadella's friends, Nicole, noticed something out of the corner of her eye, a flame of red hair. After going to investigate, the three hikers were shocked to find Sailor, delirious and slipping in and out of consciousness, but alive. They quickly dialed 911, and it wasn't long before paramedics arrived on the scene in helicopters and lifted Sailor to safety. She made it through the ordeal alive, but heart-wrenchingly. The same can't be said for Vega. He'd fallen some way further down the trail, and that time hadn't gotten back up. If it wasn't for her red hair, the same fate might have befallen Sailor. It was only after Gadella checked back over the photos he realized they'd been bouldering near Sailor for far longer than they'd first thought. She appears in not one, but two of the pics, and there's something incredibly unsettling about that expression. Unable to call for help any longer, it looks like a silent wail of despair. Ugh. Thankfully, she's fine now, and says whenever she goes hiking, she's learned to always stick to the trail. Personally, though, I've heard enough hiking horror stories to put me off for life. Into the wild. Ever wanted to just run away from it all and detox from modern life? After graduating from Emory University in Georgia in 1990, Christopher McCandless realized he wanted nothing more. Yet, 2 years later, he found himself stranded, starving, and taking this photo, the last one he'd ever be in. The sign reads, "I have had a happy life and thank the Lord. Goodbye, and may God bless all." But once you know a little more, you'll understand Christopher McCandless was not happy at the end of his life, despite that smile. You might actually recognize the name. McCandless's story was covered in the book Into the Wild, which was turned into a popular movie in 2007, and his story is really wild. Chris was a generally good student and came from a wealthy family, but became disillusioned with modern society, which he viewed as poison to people's true character. Rather than be a part of society, Chris wanted to be as far removed from it as possible. So, after graduating, he donated his savings, a whopping $24,000, to Oxfam, then left home and went traveling across America. Only this wasn't any old gap ya travels. Chris wanted to travel with as little money and belongings as possible and leave any trace of his old life firmly behind. So he assumed a fake name, Alexander Supertramp, which he took from a book he'd read, and set off. Despite starting with a car, a flash flood forced him to leave it behind and rely on walking, hitchhiking, and even canoeing for the rest of his trip. Oh, and he didn't bring any physical maps in an era before smartphones. Yeah. Regardless, Chris's incredible journey took him all across North America, and by April 1992, he'd managed to navigate all the way to Fairbanks, Alaska. This, however, would become his final destination. The last ride Chris ever hitched was through Fairbanks to the Stampede Trail, a dangerous, remote hiking trail only recommended for the most prepared of hikers. According to the driver, though, Chris did not look prepared. He was carrying just 10 pounds of rice, a basic and poorly detailed roadmap of Alaska, some books, and a .22 caliber rifle, considered weak in the event of something like a bear attack. Despite this, he refused the driver's offer for better supplies and set off into the wild anyway. And the Stampede Trail truly is the wild. Vast, desolate, treacherous, and unforgiving. But Chris was confident and determined to a fault. He eventually came across an abandoned bus where he decided to set up camp. Here, he took several pictures and kept a journal documenting what he ate day to day. It wasn't a lot, usually consisting of berries and small game. Chris did manage to hunt a moose on the 43rd day. However, he failed to preserve it and it went bad 5 days later. The journal continues listing the scant food Chris managed to hunt and scavenge, but by day 94, it's obvious that something was very wrong. The entry describes Chris feeling extremely weak, which he blames on eating potato seeds. 6 days later, he described himself as trapped in the wild and too weak to leave the camp. It's likely the photo of him holding the goodbye sign was taken around this time. The final thing Chris wrote was beautiful blueberries on day 107. The following 6 days are a blank. His body was discovered in the bus by hunters on September 6th. He weighed just 67 pounds, a third of the weight of the average American male. It's thought Chris passed away around August 18th of starvation. This heartbreaking sign was found on the outside of the bus. It seems in his last days he finally understood the importance of human connection. By then, it was too late. Now, there's debate on whether Chris died from starvation or whether the potato seeds he mentioned were more to blame, but if you ask me, dodgy seeds or not, he was on his way out anyway. Nobody can survive off a few berries and squirrels for very long. A more interesting debate is whether or not Christopher McCandless should be revered as a hero or written off as a naive kid. On the one hand, his shunning of modern society and idealistic vision of the simple life could be admired, but on the other, it's exactly that reason he's not here with us today. What do you think? You know where to leave your opinion. And that's about all we got time for. Which of those stories will stick with you the most? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. You know me, you know I keep things factual. But sometimes I come across something utterly outside our normal realm of understanding that sends a shiver down my spine. From mind-boggling natural phenomena to terrifying unnatural encounters, you better dim the lights and grab something to hide behind as we take a look at some unexplained videos that will give you chills. Have you seen Celine? Was there a more innocent time than waking up on a Saturday morning as a kid and rushing downstairs to eat cereal in front of your favorite cartoons? Well, if you grew up in Mexico in the 1990s and early 2000s, you might say those times were anything but innocent. Does this face ring any bells? This is 18-year-old Celine Delgado Lopez, and she first came to public attention in a missing persons infomercial, which at the time were regularly broadcast between morning cartoons. The ad said she'd disappeared on April 22, 2001 from Alvaro Obregón and urged anyone with relevant information to come forward. How effective these commercials actually were, I don't know, but Celine's face stuck in viewers' minds. Fast forward to 2020, and thousands of Facebook accounts reported they'd been messaged by an unexpected friend. No one claimed to know this woman, nor remember accepting her friend request. However, the name took them back to those childhood Saturday mornings. Celine Delgado Lopez. Only the woman in the photo looked much older. After all these years, had Celine turned up? Could it be the same person? Sadly, no. After some investigating, it turns out the Facebook messages were a series of hoax accounts set up by somebody, or more likely, buddies, pretending to be Celine. By tweaking their privacy settings, the account holders could remove the friend request button and change it to the message button, making it appear as though Celine Delgado Lopez was already on your friends list. But that doesn't explain why this missing person from over 20 years ago had suddenly piqued a bunch of people's interest enough to pose as her en masse. Well, not long before the mysterious Facebook accounts appeared, Canal 5, the TV network who broadcast the infomercial back in the 90s, had been posting provocative and disturbing videos to their Twitter account, then deleting them shortly after.
Munch, munch, time for a munch, crunch, crunch, munch, munch, crunch, crunch, munch, munch, crunch, crunch.
Okay, one of those videos mentioned Celine, which launched her name back into the spotlight and likely inspired the Facebook hoax. But why on earth would Canal 5 use a missing person as part of a creepy marketing campaign? If that's even what those videos were. Isn't that incredibly insensitive? That's where Celine's story gets really weird. See, some people think that Celine from the ad never even existed. There's no missing persons reports, no last known whereabouts, no family coming forward. An 18-year-old girl goes missing without a trace and nobody ever comes forward saying they even knew her? Definitely sounds suspicious to me. So in that case, who's in the pic? Well, photographic evidence suggests that the picture of Celine could be an artificially created amalgamation of genuine photographs and police sketches, combined to create something new. The picture is awful quality, even for the 90s, so blurring distinctive and memorable features into a cohesive image wouldn't be hard, and it would make sense why people remembered her years later. She was literally made to be memorable. Is that why no one's seen her? There was never anyone to see? Maybe. But is it irrefutable? Probably not. For a start, who would do it? Canal 5 themselves? If so, why? Secondly, hundreds of thousands of people go missing every year, often without explanation at all. Many never make it in their local papers, let alone on national television. Has so many eyes trying to crack Celine's case overcomplicated the truth? I really don't know. The further you dig into this case, the more questions there are, and I just can't shake the feeling there's something we're not seeing here. Terror in Tokyo. The road late at night is a dangerous place. It's dark, you're tired. If you're not careful, a sudden bend could sneak up on you unawares. But for this Japanese taxi driver, the real concern was less about what's outside the car and more about what could be inside. As he was driving around one evening, he pulls over as if to let a passenger in, but watch the door. Yeah, it opens and closes again, but no one enters. A few minutes later, he appears to say to himself, "It's crowded on the way home." Only, perhaps it wasn't to himself. As he enters a tunnel a split second afterwards, a shadowy figure appears in the back seat behind him. What is that? A trick of the light? Well, possibly. As soon as he exits the tunnel, the figure disappears again. However, the driver's respite only lasts a few seconds before the figure returns. And this time, we can clearly make out the features of a young woman. Oh, who is she? The ghost of someone who lost her life in the tunnel? Possibly. Despite looking plucked from a bone-chilling Japanese horror movie, she doesn't seem to wish any harm on the driver, at least. Maybe she's been spending years in an endless cycle trying to get home. What do you think? Is this a real ghost sighting or just a fakery? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, if you're enjoying the video, show some love to those like and subscribe buttons. Otherwise, next time you're driving alone and you peer into the back mirror, you might see me there, eating your snacks, watching you, always. Hey, eye on the road, dingus. Let's get back to the video. A giant mystery. Have you ever seen something so strange that you considered it might be supernatural? Well, when TikTok user Andrew Dawson captured a video of something strange atop a mountain range in Canada, his life would never be the same, and not for the better. See, Andrew claimed to have seen an actual giant, and looking at the footage, I kind of see it.
There's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, have you seen what I've seen right now?
Now that's creepy, but not as creepy as what followed. Andrew followed the video up with a series of others claiming the CIA was following him. Amongst other things, random cars were spotted stalling outside his house, and he kept seeing the same man in public. Was he being followed? I'm not sure, but suddenly Andrew went silent for about a month. People were seriously worried about him, until in June 2022, he made a shocking announcement.
Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all the videos that I posted were scripted. They're just fake. They were just strictly for entertainment.
Oh, so case closed? I wish it were. People quickly noticed that in his confession video, Andrew keeps shooting these knowing looks off camera, almost like someone else is there telling him what to say. Could it be that CIA agent? Nobody knows. All we do know is that Andrew only posted twice more after his so-called confession. First of these was uploaded 10 days later.
You might not see me post ever again. My videos weren't fake.
What? With a caption as cryptic as the video itself, Andrew's followers quickly became more worried about him than ever before. Contrary to what he said, though, Andrew would make one final post, back at the mountain where it all started. Only this time, there's no giant, just a mysterious building instead. And that was the last anyone heard of Andrew Dawson. Wait, what happened? Well, we don't really know. Lots of theories have floated about, most of them suggesting Andrew met an untimely end. Maybe the CIA stuff was true. Others have suggested Andrew himself was fake and playing a character invented by a content farm. I mean, come on, the CIA stuff is easy to fake. Stand in front of a camera and look awkwardly to the side, get your buddy to park outside and drive off when you run out. None of this is difficult to stage. And when you compare the first footage of the giant to where he later filmed the building, they don't even look like the same mountain. What's more, nobody has been able to find any evidence of Andrew Dawson ever being a real person. You know, birth certificate, residential address, phone number, etc. Zilch. I'm not saying one answer is more likely than another, but the whole affair is just weird. Whether the videos were staged or not, I sure hope nothing bad befell Andrew. What really happened, though, we may never know. Red sky at night. Have you ever heard that old saying, red sky at night, shepherd's delight? Well, when the sky did turn red over Zhoushan, China, I don't think delight is what people were feeling. In footage shared on the Chinese social media site Douyin late one May evening in 2022, citizens of the small city can be heard freaking out as everything above them becomes crimson. What's going on here? Is it the Armageddon? The end of days? Thankfully not. According to the local weather bureau, the apocalyptic sky was actually caused by light refraction. When weather conditions are right, there's more water in the atmosphere. This forms aerosols, which are tiny liquid droplets suspended in air or gas, like mist. Because Zhoushan is a port city, the red lights from passing fishing boats refracted off the aerosols and scattered throughout the sky. Whew! I bet you're relieved to hear the world isn't ending, but this isn't the only weird phenomenon spotted in China. In 2013, traffic in Nanjing ground to a halt when a strange foaming substance began oozing from beneath the street. At around 9 p.m., the pavement at the Wende Baiyun Lane cross intersection began to crack and split open. Then, like some B-movie horror, the cracks started spawning this foul-smelling blob. Within a short while, the spillage had spread to 165 feet wide and was over a foot high. Before it had a chance to become sentient, firefighters and police rushed to rope off the area, and the weird residue was hosed away without any real explanation. China's propaganda ministry released a statement later, claiming the material used to soften the soil for nearby subway construction had leaked. But, are we really going to trust anything that comes out of the mouth of the propaganda ministry? I don't know about this one, team. If you've got any thoughts, leave them in the comments down below. Scottish swirl. Listen, just because the sky above isn't glowing crimson doesn't mean you're in the clear. In 2022, strange objects were spotted circling the otherwise ordinary sky above Motherwell, Scotland. My word, it looks like Bilbo Baggins' birthday party. I don't think this was the work of Gandalf, though, or, as many people were quick to suggest, aliens. If you look closely, you can see a faint smoke trail behind the weird light. Now, that wouldn't happen unless there was a combustible substance on whatever's flying around. I'd say somebody strapped a week's wages of fireworks onto their drone and decided to give the neighbors a spectacle. Okay, but what about this? What the heck is that? This bright green darting light was captured later that night in the same area, and I've never seen a firework that looks anything like it. Now, there's no military bases nearby, and no planes flew overhead either. So what exactly caused this mysterious sky show? Well, there's one possible explanation. Just outside our Earth's atmosphere, there are thousands of pieces of space junk flying around, like satellite parts that were disposed after orbit. If any of this trash re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, it can burn up like a meteor. When it burns, the resulting fire provides energy to electrons in its atoms, but those electrons can't hold that energy for very long. When they release it again, they do so in the form of particular wavelengths of light, and copper just so happens to be green. So the green color of that strange meteor thing might have been caused by space junk made from copper. Neato. Sure, that makes sense, but it's impossible to say if it's 100% the case or not. And the fact two weird sky phenomena happened in the same place on the same night? Yeah, I'd be moving house, whatever the truth is. Bridezilla. Your wedding day is often said to be the most important day of your life. After all, till death do us part isn't a commitment to be taken lightly. However, a couple taking their vows in Indonesia went viral after the bride seemed to take a paranormal turn for the worse. Check it out. What happened there? Well, if you listen closely, there's a horrible screeching noise just before the bride starts freaking out. What could have happened? Was it a dangerous snake hissing that sent her into a panic? Did she have some kind of medical problem like a seizure? Or was it something decidedly more sinister, like demonic possession? As outlandish as that last suggestion sounds, many of the comments seem to think witchcraft has something to do with it. Whether a relative from beyond the grave or an ex-partner disagreeing with the couple's union, I'm not really sure. What I can say is that the original uploader of the video hurriedly took it down after it began gaining traction. Perhaps there's another twist to this tale that we don't know about yet. Worrying web. You know what gives me the willies? Spiders. I just don't like them. Never have, never will. Luckily for me, I don't live in Shrewsbury, England. Locals awoke one morning in May 2023 to discover a large bush in a parking lot had been completely overtaken by a humongous cobweb. Gross. No, thank you. Can you imagine how big the spider would have to be to spin that? Well, luckily, you don't have to. Believe it or not, it wasn't the work of a spider, and no, it's not a Halloween decoration either. It's actually the work of ermine moth caterpillars. Every year when the larvae hatch, they spin a giant web made of hundreds of thousands of silk sheets to protect them whilst they eat away and fatten up. After they've completed their metamorphosis and the moths fly off, the web disintegrates. Darn. I gotta say, that's an effective defense tactic. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies just looking at it. At least there's nothing to worry about, though. Unless you're a tasty-looking shrub, in which case, be afraid. Be very, very afraid. Bewitching backrooms. Recently, I've been super interested in the backrooms. In case you don't know, it's an urban legend that sprung into popularity in 2019. According to the legend, it's possible to glitch out of your reality and end up in an eerie, limbo-like plane of existence called the backrooms, usually depicted as should-be busy locations that are totally abandoned. There's something incredibly uncanny about the backrooms that I just find myself oddly compelled to. And one video posted to TikTok in April 2022 caught my attention more than any other. The poster spotted a strange hole in their wall with some unidentified substance pouring from it. Supposedly, the substance resulted from an excess of energy caused by a rift forming to the backrooms. And as the camera creeps closer to the hole, what's behind it becomes clearer. Huh? What was that? Yeah, I'm not so sure I want to go to the backrooms anymore. Okay, I know this video is probably a hoax and the backrooms are more legend than fact, but what if? If I ever see a hole in my wall that looks anything like that one, I'm not taking any chances. There's no way my tiny hiney is getting captured by some demonkin from a parallel reality. Chilling circle. Moo. I'm telling you, I'm not made for the cold. Nope, despite my pallid complexion, this body's built for the sunshine. And it's not just the weather that gives me the shivers. Weird, unexplainable things happen in the cold. In Gladwin, Michigan, temperatures in January 2019 plummeted to a measly 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And on the Cedar River, this happened. What the? It's like some huge UFO landing pad for space aliens. It wasn't a one-off event either. Merely a week before, a section of the Presumpscot River near Westbrook, Maine, captured dog walkers' attention when a colossal 100-yard spinning ice disk formed in the water. Right, so does anybody care to explain how these two giant moon shapes glitched their way into the rivers? Well, truth be told, we don't exactly know what's causing it. At best, scientists have speculated that it has something to do with the temperature changes in the water below. Think about it. Hot air rises while cool air falls, and when the two collide, it creates a tornado. This might be kind of the same, just much slower and wetter. And considering I've not heard anything from the scientific community yet regarding my cryo-alien theory, well, I gotta say the whole hot-cold spinny angle might hold some weight. Do you have any possible theories as to how these giant ice disks form? Let me know down in the comments. Bubbling burner. I never used to believe in hell. Fire, pain, suffering. Sounds like another day at the office to me. But hear me out. Mud can't set on fire, right? So if this isn't a portal to hell, how the heck do you explain it? The wild footage was captured in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, and despite my first thoughts, it's actually not a hell portal. It's an active mud volcano at Yangpu Pond. There are several of these small volcanoes across southern Taiwan. They're formed when immense pressure from tectonic plates beneath the earth is combined with heavy rainfall, turning the earth all liquidy. The resulting sludge is largely made up of organic material and water, which is a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. And you know what bacteria produces? Methane, a highly flammable gas. Aha! So this thing can just combust out of nowhere? Not quite. This was actually set alight by a local man as a little demonstration. According to eyewitnesses, the mud burned for about 5 minutes until the methane ran out. That's pretty cool. But methane is also the gas that makes our farts smell. Seeing this up front and personal might have been cool, but it also would have stank like someone was torching their air biscuits. Yuck. Another reason to stay indoors and watch YouTube, hey? Creepy company. Sometimes when I'm lying in bed at night, there's a strange thud outside my window. I'm sure it's nothing, probably just a hungry raccoon rummaging for food. But, what if it's not? When TikTok user Little and Large 13 heard strange noises outside her house at night, she decided to look at her security footage and felt a cold shiver run down her spine. Pay attention to that gap in the fence. What is that? Little and Large managed to capture a much clearer shot round the front of her house, but it only made things worse.